Well done, Richie.
The one and only.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start it off. And there's always a beginning to everything, isn't there? And to tell us a little bit about Richie's beginning, because back in that day, what's now our local radio station, KCLR, and by the way, for those of you who are lucky enough not to know who I am, James Lakes is my name. I should have introduced myself earlier on. You might be unfortunate enough to hear me on a Sunday morning on KCLR on the Lake Country. But at that time, when Richie started out, our local radio station was CKR. You would have remembered CKR. And the man in charge of that at the time was a man called Mr. Michael Moriarty. Would you give him a big round of applause, folks? So Michael, I'm not going to kind of interview you now or anything, but I know that you have a story about Richie's start. So would you like to tell us the story about the start?
Well, I was busy one morning in the radio station, and the secretary came up and said that there's a guy outside with kind of longish hair, and he says he's from Fenna, and he wants to know about how would he be able to promote himself. He was an entertainer, he said. So I went down, and it's the first time I met Richie Kavanagh. That's more than 35 years ago. And I suggested to him, with the establishment of local radios around the country, that was his secret to success. Because now you had a network of local radios rather than just RTE radio, as was the case before that, one or two commercial stations nationally. So he went, and he had 3 or 4 or 5 verses of some of the songs he had, and I thought they were absolutely amazing, you know. And I do think, ever since it was correct, that he'd go and record a song, because that was the key to success, and he did record the songs. So the radio network were the voice of the local people. That was always gave voice to local communities. And what better man to represent the local community than Richie Kavanagh? When you look at what we just saw there now, the secret is success. I bet you all of you were smiling. From ear to ear I was smiling, and that's what he brings to us. He brings happiness. And I couldn't, can I just mention about the book just briefly? I could not believe, because I've published a number of books myself, but I could not believe that the family produced this. This is 100% Kavanagh production. Everything, drawings, everything. Isn't that amazing? And it shows